Hey overseers, it's Mason XY, also the King of Data. In this dimension, what if this was, in this dimension, this is what if Red was trained by Giovanni. Red was asked to do some chores on his for his 10th birthday. He did all his chores very easily. Then he went to study all he could to get a head start on everyone. Since he had no connections, he had no help, except for Mr. Oak. And so on, he trained, studied hard every day, and he got up early for anyone else and stood outside at night. Then, after being first in line, a kid named Hayden comes up and cuts. Red Hat says, "Hey, no cutting in line." But Hayden reveals he's the son of the the corporation of Silphco. And well, he says after he gets his Pokemon Bulbasaur that there are no starters left. Red goes in to see and asks Crystal why there are no more starters left. He ex- he explains that Charmander is going to be studied at Silphco, or in the foreign region of Silphco, to be examined and try to get more evolutions like the Histolian evolution and other lines. While Blue got Squirtle. He well Red well sorry Oak tells him in this mention he'll get some Pokemon soon for him and the others. And then he accepts it, starts to study a little more at night, and then goes to bed. Then he comes in reasonably, saying he would like to talk to Red's son, Red's mom's son, believing he had stolen the Charmander. But so on, he didn't. She tried to explain, but Officer Jenny, being reasonable, explained she'd like to interrogate him at her police station. After all that, he's still being interrogated until Giovanni comes in with a grunt. He explains that that's his nephew, and it's been a long time coming. He explains that this is the thief. He already sold the Charmander before he can even get him back, so not talk about it anymore. He also explains he would like to give this Alpha Ella kit to him. He talks right about this later. And so on. They try to reason with him, but with his shiny Rhydon, there's no reasoning with him. And now he leads with Red. After that, Red and Giovanni go to see Professor Oak. Professor Oak worried because Giovanni's the leader of Team Rocket. He knows that, but Red doesn't. So he hands a baby Charmander he was racing that's a shiny, along with Alpha Alkid on his team. The baby Charmander gets close to him and tries to get a hug, and is being carried in his arms. Giovanni, didn't want this, but it was either not having Elkit with him or not. So, after that, well, Elkit was going to go to Surge, but he quit, and he was Giovanni kept this Pokemon for himself until he could find a right hand. After that, Giovanni wants Red to meet his son. Silver doesn't really accept Red is his cousin until he battles him, saying the true bloodlines only expect power. And so on, Red agrees. He sends in his Elgit, and Silver is battling with his shiny Nidoran, male, and attacks. So on, Silver orders a Poison Sting, while Red orders Thunder Punch, knocking it straight out. Then he switched out, and Red sends in Charmander against Silver Sneasel. This battle is epic, and he wins. After that, Silver says that's his cousin for sure getting a role model. So when Blue comes in, thinking he was in jail, but finds out that Red is the nephew of Giovanni. He still can't take that and decides to battle him. So on, see, this is a school bully situation now because, they battle and Squirtle completely beats Baby Charmander like a school bully, like the geek and the nerd situation, being pretty good. And so on, Red returns him after, Blue ordered Squirtle to bite him while using Bubble. Then, he returns and sends Pidgey. And so on, Red sends an Elkit. And so on, this battle begins. He used a Thunderbolt, but after that, Pidgey evolved into Pidgeot. And so this is one of, Professor Oak's low breeds. See, he breeds lots for research purposes, so it would make sense. And so on, this battle is over. because with one Thunderbolt, he's over. And then, well, they speak in Pokemon language for, well, Elkid and Squirrel, explaining how Charmander's weak. And, well, Elkid explains that Charmander's still young and has a lot of potential to grow. And how he did it was pretty cruel. It was time for his beating. And he wins. Red lets Charmander walk with him all the time because they have a bond, and so it makes sense that the baby Pokemon have a little time with him. Then they go to Jim, Brock, and Brock, well, was excited since Giovanni said when he was cleared of all charges, well, had potential. Also explaining this, since he just got called recently about how Red was no longer a trainer worthy of his spot, but then got a received call explaining that there was a misunderstanding, and they fixed it. Also, Brock, seeing how Charmander likes him a lot, decides to accept the challenge of Morg, saying he can't be bad with Pokemon like that, likes him so much. And so on, they battle. Red sends in Charmander, while Brock sends in Shielded. Shielded uses a Rock Tomb, and then and Red's Charmander evolves into Charmeleon quickly after some intense training, and completely one-shots, well, Shielded. Then, Brock sends in his partner Pokemon Onix and battles it out. Until, well, Charmeleon uses Blaze. This is basically Infernate's Blaze, but Charmeleon gets it instead in this, well, dimension. And so on, a blue flame appears all around him and uses Flamethrower. And so on, Brock tells Onix to attack back and wins. And so on, this battle was more epic. Now, because of that, Red sends in Elgit. Brock thinks he's getting cocky, but Elgit is told to go straight in and attack the horn, and wins the battle. And so on, Brock hands in a gym badge, called the Peter Badge, and explains Red has a good future with a Pokemon team like those two. Giovanni comes and explains Red's good, but has lacking experience in combat compared to Blue, since he didn't have him now, unlike when he didn't have him back then. Someone explains join Team Rocket. Red was told by Oak that Team Rocket were a bunch of jerks, and so on to never work with them. Red refuses, but Giovanni says, well, you're gonna have to do it one way or the other, and it's time to battle. He sends in his Neoking and completely one-shots Elekid, without giving a fighting chance. Then he sends in Charmeleon, who uses Blaze by being attacked multiple times with Mudslap. Then, activating it, still couldn't win. Red cradling Charmeleon, worried about him, explaining that's what happens when you tribal with him. And it's time to get him ready.